Over 60? These 7 common kitchen items could be silently harming your health. Number 1 is old non-stick cookware, the silent source of toxins. If you're over 60, I want you to pause and think about that favorite frying pan sitting in your kitchen. The one that's been with you for years. The easy clean, no stick, less oil go-to. But what if I told you that very pan could be one of the most dangerous items in your kitchen, quietly weakening your immune system meal by meal? Most older nonstick pans are made with chemicals known as PFAS, also called forever chemicals, because they don't break down in your body. One of the worst offenders is PFOA, perfluorooctanoic acid, used in older Teflon pans. When you heat these pans too high, especially above 500 degrees Fahrenheit, or if they're scratched or chipped, they can start releasing toxic fumes and microplastics directly into your food. According to a well-known study in Environmental Health Perspectives, 98% of Americans tested had PFOA in their bloodstream, and higher levels were associated with weakened immune responses, particularly in older adults. That means your body might be struggling to fight off viruses and inflammation, not because of age alone, but because of what you're cooking on. Here's the truth. When your pan starts flaking or wearing down, it can shed microscopic plastic and chemical particles into everything you eat. Over time, those toxins build up, increasing your body's inflammatory load and slowly draining the strength of your immune system. And if you already live with chronic issues like high blood pressure, joint pain, or fatigue, this kind of invisible exposure only makes recovery harder. Many seniors believe using nonstick cookware is the healthier option. Less oil, fewer calories. But in reality, the long-term chemical exposure far outweighs the short-term convenience. And with age, your body becomes less efficient at detoxifying and bouncing back from that kind of damage. So what can you do? Ditch scratched or old nonstick pans. Switch to ceramic, stainless steel, or cast iron. Never heat nonstick pans empty or on high. If your pan smokes before the food's in, it's not preheating, it's poisoning. Your cookware should support your health, not sabotage it. One small swap can mean real relief for your immune system. Act now. Protect your health and immune system. Number 2 is BPA plastic food containers, a hormone nightmare. If you're over 60, chances are your fridge or pantry is stocked with plastic containers you've trusted for years. But here's the hard truth. Many of those containers could be quietly weakening your immune system, especially if you use them to store or reheat food. Plastic containers labeled with recycling codes number 3, number 6, or number 7 often contain harmful chemicals like BPA, bisphenol A, phthalates, and styrene. These are classified as endocrine disruptors, meaning they interfere with your body's natural hormone function. And that's a serious problem, especially for seniors. Your immune system depends on proper hormone signaling to stay balanced and responsive. But when these chemicals leach into your food, particularly when plastic is exposed to heat, they can trigger inflammation, weaken immune response, and disrupt gut bacteria. One study published in JAMA found that people with higher BPA levels in their bloodstream had elevated markers of chronic inflammation, a condition linked to everything from heart disease to a suppressed immune system. And since aging already makes the immune system more vulnerable, added chemical stress from plastics only makes it worse. Many seniors think microwave safe means the plastic won't release toxins. Unfortunately, that's a common myth. Microwave safe only means the container won't melt, not that it won't leach dangerous chemicals into your food. So what can you do? Toss out plastic containers labeled number 3, PVC, number 6, styrofoam, or number 7, BPA blends. Never microwave plastic, even if it says it's safe. Switch to glass, stainless steel, or silicone containers for storage and reheating. And a word of caution. Even BPA-free plastics aren't always safe. Many still contain bisphenol substitutes like BPS or BPF, chemicals that researchers now believe may carry similar hormone-disrupting risks. Your immune system faces enough challenges already. Daily exposure to hidden toxins only makes things harder. Small, consistent changes, like replacing plastic containers with glass or stainless steel, can significantly reduce your body's toxic load and help build more resilient, balanced immunity over time. It's not just what you eat, it's how you store it, reheat it, and live around it. Number 3 is aluminum foil, the brain and bone risk you never saw coming. You've probably used it for decades, wrapping leftovers, lining baking trays, or covering dishes in the oven. It's quick, convenient, and everywhere. But if you're over 60, it's time to take a closer look at aluminum foil, because what seems harmless could be silently damaging your health, especially your immune system, brain, and bones. Here's the reality. When aluminum foil is heated, especially when it comes into contact with acidic foods like tomatoes, citrus, or vinegar, it begins to leach aluminum directly into your food. And while your body can handle small amounts, long-term exposure adds up. Scientific studies have shown that chronic aluminum intake can lead to accumulation in body tissues, including the brain, kidneys, and bones. A 2014 review in Frontiers in Neurology linked high aluminum exposure to an increased risk of neurodegenerative diseases, such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. At the same time, aluminum has also been connected to bone fragility and weakened immune response, particularly in older adults with slower detoxification systems. You might be thinking, but I don't use that much. The truth is, the danger isn't about using it once or twice. It's the cumulative effect over time, especially if you've used aluminum foil regularly to cook, bake, or store food. Many seniors also deal with reduced kidney function, often without even knowing it. Since the kidneys help remove excess aluminum from the body, any impairment can cause the metal to build up silently, raising your risk of toxicity. Here's what you can do to protect yourself today. Stop using aluminum foil for cooking, especially at high temperatures. Avoid wrapping hot or acidic foods in foil. Use parchment paper instead. Switch to glass, enamel, or ceramic bakeware for oven use. Used foil for years. Don't panic. Your body can gradually clear stored aluminum, especially if you cut back now and support detox with hydration, antioxidants, and safer cookware. Your immune system's under enough pressure. Don't burden it with a metal it was never built to handle. Ditching foil may seem small, but it's a strong move for your brain, bones, and long-term health. What you cook with matters as much as what you cook. Number 4 is plastic spice grinders. Microplastics in every meal. They sit on your kitchen counter or dinner table, ready to add flavor to your food. But if you're over 60 and still using plastic spice grinders, especially the disposable kind that comes with store-bought salt or pepper, you might be adding something far more dangerous to your plate than you think. Microplastics. That's right. Every twist of those grinders can shave off tiny particles of plastic, which fall directly into your food and go straight into your body. You won't see them. You won't taste them. But your immune system will feel them. According to a 2021 study published in Environmental Science and Technology, most people consume up to 5 grams of microplastics per week, about the weight of a credit card. One major source? Kitchen plastics, including grinding tools. These particles don't just pass through your system. They can lodge in your tissues, where they trigger chronic inflammation, disrupt the gut microbiome, and weaken immune regulation over time. Why is that so serious for seniors? Because over 70% of your immune system is located in the gut, where beneficial bacteria help control inflammation and defend against illness. Microplastics disrupt that balance, feeding harmful bacteria and throwing your immune response off track. And with age, your gut lining becomes more delicate, making it easier for toxins and plastic residues to pass into your bloodstream. Many people assume these small grinders are safe because they're sold with food. But most are made with low-grade plastics not designed for long-term use, especially under pressure and friction. Over time, their internal parts wear down and begin shedding invisible contaminants into your spices and your meals. Here's how to protect yourself. Stop using disposable plastic spice grinders. Switch to refillable glass or stainless steel grinders with metal or ceramic grinding parts. Store spices in airtight glass jars, away from heat and moisture, to preserve both flavor and safety. Used plastic grinders? No blame. Just better choices now. Microplastics don't belong in your food. Swap the grinder. Support your immune system. Your immune system is already doing enough. Don't make it fight invisible toxins too. Number 5 is worn plastic cutting boards, a hidden breeding ground. If you're over 60, I want you to take a good look at your cutting board. Not just the surface, but the grooves, scratches, and worn-out lines. Because what's hiding inside those little cracks could be doing real harm to your immune system every time you prep a meal. Old plastic cutting boards, especially ones used daily, develop deep grooves from knives. These tiny cuts don't just hold on to old food particles. They become perfect hiding places for bacteria like E. coli and Salmonella, which can multiply quickly if the board isn't properly sanitized. Worse, with every slice, they may also be releasing microplastics into your food. A 2020 study published in Science of the Total Environment found that worn plastic cutting boards can release up to 1,500 microplastic particles per cut, especially when used to prepare acidic or hot foods. These tiny plastics are invisible, but they don't pass through your system without impact. They can accumulate in the gut, interfere with digestion, and disrupt immune cell activity, especially dangerous as we age. Even more concerning, some cheap plastic boards may contain BPA, phthalates, or other hormone-disrupting chemicals. When exposed to heat or acidic ingredients, like tomatoes or lemon juice, those toxins can leach directly into your food, raising inflammation levels and weakening your body's defenses. For seniors who may already have slower digestion or reduced immunity, these small exposures add up. You may not notice it today, but over time, your immune system becomes less able to fight off viruses, infections, and chronic illness. Here's how to fix it. Throw out plastic boards that are scratched, stained, or more than a few years old. Avoid cutting both raw meat and vegetables on the same board. Cross-contamination is a real risk. Switch to bamboo, glass, or non-porous hardwood cutting boards that resist bacteria and don't release plastics. And remember, wood isn't the problem. Quality bamboo or hardwood boards resist bacteria when cared for properly. The real risk comes from worn, cracked, or poorly cleaned surfaces. This isn't just about food safety. It's about immune health. Every time you prep, you choose. Protect your body or expose it. Number 6 is coffee pods, a toxic brew in disguise. If you're over 60, there's a good chance you enjoy a warm cup of coffee to start your day. But if you're using single-use coffee pods, especially ones made of plastic or aluminum, you might be getting more than just caffeine. In fact, you could be drinking a daily dose of immune-disrupting chemicals without even realizing it. Here's what's really happening inside those little pods. When hot water and pressure are forced through plastic and aluminum at high temperatures, they can leach harmful compounds like BPA, phthalates, and aluminum particles directly into your coffee. These substances are known to interfere with hormone function, damage the gut lining, and trigger chronic inflammation, all of which weaken your immune system over time. A 2022 study published in Toxicology Reports showed that regular exposure to microplastics and hormone disruptors from food packaging, including coffee pods, can affect gut health, immune regulation, and hormonal balance in adults. For seniors whose detox systems slow with age, these chemicals can linger in the body longer, doing more harm. Aluminum, too, is a growing concern. Studies have linked long-term exposure to increased risks of neurodegenerative diseases, including Alzheimer's, as well as immune suppression and oxidative stress in older adults. While 1 cup won't hurt you, daily exposure for years adds up, especially when combined with other sources of these toxins in the kitchen. You might be thinking, but it's just coffee, it can't be that bad. The truth is, it's not the coffee. It's what it's brewed in that makes the difference. Here's how to protect yourself. Ditch single-use plastic and aluminum coffee pods. Switch to a stainless steel French press, pour over, or drip coffee maker with a reusable filter. Use freshly ground beans stored in airtight glass jars for the best flavor and safety. Here's a bonus. Old-school coffee methods aren't just safer. They taste better and create less waste. Your morning brew should fuel you, not expose you to toxins that slowly wear down your health. As you age, your immune system needs support, not daily sabotage. So enjoy your coffee, but use tools that work with your body, not against it. Number 7 is black plastic utensils, the most dangerous of them all. They flip your eggs, stir your soups, and scrape your pans. But if those utensils are made of black plastic, they could be doing far more harm than you realize, especially if you're over 60 and trying to protect your immune health. Black plastic kitchen tools may look sleek and durable, but studies show they often contain recycled electronic waste, including flame retardants, heavy metals, and toxic industrial chemicals. These materials weren't made for food contact, yet many black plastic spoons, spatulas, and ladles still find their way into kitchens across the country. Here's the real problem. When exposed to heat, these utensils can leach dangerous compounds like brominated flame retardants, BFRs, lead, cadmium, and even BPA directly into your food. These substances are well known for their role in immune suppression, hormonal disruption, and increased cancer risk. A study published in Science of the Total Environment confirmed that many black plastic utensils contained unsafe levels of toxic chemicals, especially when used at cooking temperatures. The researchers warned that regular exposure, particularly in vulnerable groups like older adults, can impair immune cell activity and promote systemic inflammation. Why does this matter more as you age? Because your body becomes less efficient at detoxifying harmful substances, and your immune system needs every bit of support it can get. When it's constantly distracted by hidden toxins in your utensils, it struggles to fight off the real threats: viruses, infections, and age-related diseases. Many people think, if it's sold in stores, it must be safe. But the truth is, not all kitchen plastics are regulated equally. Black plastics are particularly hard to trace because they're often made from recycled consumer electronics, which were never intended for food contact. So here's how you stay safe. Stop using black plastic utensils, especially with hot food. Switch to stainless steel, silicone, or untreated wood. Never use worn or discolored plastic with heat. This may seem like a small change, but it matters. The fewer toxins your immune system has to handle, the better it can protect you. Your cooking tools shouldn't be silent threats.